Okay, welcome back to Seraph of the End anime review part 5B. This one discussing the last 5 episodes of the anime, basically continuing the Nagoya arc. Now, I didn't mention this in the first part or one. Now, this 24 to 41 are 8 chapters in just 10 episodes. I'm like, wow, that's quite something. You probably think that normally, sometimes anime usually take like 2 chapters an episode. Nope, we had to take up frickin' 10 for this damn thing. Now, over the course of the episodes, we have Gary captured by the vampires. Yu wants to go rescue him. He tries to, but he turns into a demon. Yep, a full-fledged demon, though he gets away. Though he gets reunited with Mika. Yep, runs to him again. Though he briefly takes him away, tries to take him, he basically takes him away again. He takes him someplace safe, and of course, Shadila, I can't forget this woman's name here. She's the purple hair girl. I want to make sure I get this character's name right. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. Shinua. Yes, Shinua. She basically blocks the Japanese army, attempts to take Mika. So Mika takes Yu away to the airport, which they are meet up. Yu, of course, basically has finally a chance to actually talk to him, but of course, Mika can't exactly survive without some blood, and Yu's like, "Drink my blood." And he hesitates. This goes on for quite a while. And then eventually, after he sees blood, he starts drinking his blood. Just take as much as you need. And he's like, he hesitates because he turns a full-fledged vampire. And then, of course, he says humans been using him. Well, he kind of reveals a little bit of project with the Seraph at the end, where humans basically are responsible for the apocalypse virus. And, of course, he tells us this in a Humvee, which they decide to hotwire. So they go to rescue Yu's friends, basically his squad, which are going to an airport, the Naga airport. Which that's when the general shows up. Yes, the jerkwad. Yep. Yeah. You can kind of say he's kind of like the main antagonist of the series because of how he's written in the series. Yeah. Kirito. Yeah. He shows up. What does he do? Instead of basically give people a chance to rest, nope. He brings out a giant, let's just say, I think it's like a cargo tank. And the thing unleashes a bunch of mini kunais. Yes, kunais. Which all connected. Why the heck this is not explained into the final episode of the series. And with the exception of the main character series, a lot of the soldiers part of the Moon Squad are pretty much killed by me. Like, oh yes, oh I'll give these people an honorable death. Really? You just massacred a bunch of people for no reason at all because you're power hungry. Oh, and when he left, he had his brother. Well, he took down his brother's guards and he pretty much took him hostage, just to use as a bargaining chip for his father. Oh, and by the way, Christopher Sabat's character who appears in the series appears for one episode and then never appears again. I'm like, really? You bring in possibly one of your best voice actors for animation and you bring him in for a character who appears for one episode? My guess is because he was busy doing other stuff. That's probably the reason why. But the only series I could think of he's probably working on at that point when this series was coming out was probably... Actually, no, My Hero wasn't come out yet. It could have been Dragon Ball Z Kai. That could have been what he was working on at that point. Maybe he's busy with other series. I don't know. It's possible. Excuse me. But yeah, he was probably by far one of the few people who appear in the series who are big names, along with Colin Clickenbeard, Eric Vale, Monica Real, Justin Brenner. Guy considered him a big name now because the guy made his name with My Hero Academia. But the thing is, he did this series a year prior to the start of My Hero Academia. Yeah, this is where he got his start. Like, he did the series prior to that. Though his character didn't appear very much in the series, at least he appeared in more than one freaking episode. Yeah. So, pretty much they got me with him in the airport. And, okay, now I'm not going to review. Okay, who was this other tanker? Wyatt Sheen's sister. The woman who he had turned over to. He had hoped the army helped cure her. Nope, they turn her into a freaking weapon. Yes, this happens in manga as well. Also, Garen is freed from the vampires, though he's possessed by his dead fiancé. Yes, his cursed gear, the demon inside his cursed gear, is his dead fiancé, aka Shinawa's older sister, who looks exactly like her. Yes. And, yeah, I get the fact they're sisters, but man, it's almost like saying that she's basically controlled by him. Now, let's see if I can find it here. I don't know who actually voiced her in the series, but yeah. So she possesses him for the final episode of the series. And what does he have her do? What she have him do? Kill not only vampires who had shown up. Yep, they were informed by this by, well, one of the members of the Moon Squad who had the kill, who basically really want Mika to kill her, and he fulfilled her wish. And we have a bunch of vampires show up, like, and the guy, and the course like, oh, I'm gonna end the war right here. Really? Really? So you use a teenager. You use basically of her a power, what looks like to be telekinesis. Yes, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like she got telekinesis because she can control too much of kunais. Yeah, killing both human and vampire. I'm like, okay, that reminds me of the Grape Shot. Yes, those of you curious of what the heck I'm talking about, it's a particular mini ball of cannon. I heard about this documentary. It's something Cornwallis just had to use against his own troops and against the American revolutionaries during the war, during the fighting in the South of the American Revolution. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But at least Cornwallis was not power hungry like this guy is. Yes, Cornwallis actually had a reason for it. This guy, it's just purely power hungry. And you can kind of say this guy is a true antagonist of the series because of how he's written. I mean, yeah, he wants to end all vampires, fine, whatever. But his methods are completely dumb. So, well, Yu, of course, really wants to stop the battle, so he really wants to get more power from Ashra. There's so much power left, so summon an angel. Not just any angel, the King of Salt. Yep. And kill some of the soldiers of the army, along with some vampires. Eventually, he stopped thanks to Ashima resuming control. So, they all pretty much leave. Though they do this thing where, oh yeah, we're going to take him down because we don't like what he looks like. Like, okay, what does that sound familiar like? An organization where the main character works for, he turns into something they don't like, so they have to either capture or kill him. When I saw this in the manga, I'm like, wow, the writer of the series ripped up D. Gray Man. Yes, because just by sheer coincidence, the last arc they adapted for the anime, which came out a couple years after this, actually it was a year after the series ended, they used the same type of ending. At least, here's a big difference between the two of them. At least that the supporting character series are not written to be completely stupid and they won't go with him on the run. So, his squad, like Shin was like, yeah, we're officially succeeding from the Japanese demon army, and we're going off on our own. So bye. So they all leave, and of course, well, Goran stays with them because he's possessed, obviously. Though they go to like the beach where they all change clothes. They're all in civilian attire. And of course, you basically tell us that they have two big goals. One, they have to rescue the idiot Gagarin, that's what we first met, and Sheen's sister. Yep, which they agree to that. Though they do other stuff over the course of the next several arcs. But in case you're wondering, does the squad ever officially rejoin the army? The answer is no. They never do at all. Yeah, it's kind of done the fact that Moon Army is pretty much almost wiped out in this one arc. Yeah, almost entirely. All because the guy who's the soon-to-be next head of the army is a power-hungry nut. The guy's obsessed with power. Yes. Though at least you gotta appreciate the fact which studio left open you could do a potential second season. But in case you're curious though, is it not prepared for a second season? The answer is yes. Yes, there is. They can do 3 story arcs for season 2. I consider this one season because they're the same year, so is it? Yeah. This is the only arc. Yeah, only 3. The first one 7 chapters. Second one's 20, and the one that comes after that is 22. So yes, they could do another one, and it seems as though 2 arcs after this one, Acacia, I think it's the longest arc of the series, being 20 well, actually, Nagoya, that's actually longer than 22. But I'll cover these arcs later on. I will cover these pretty much these. Now, there's technically only 4 story arcs overall that come right where I left off. So I'll be discussing these in part 7 because part 6 I'll discuss the OVA. I will discuss the OVA probably later because right now I'm basically back in Naruto Shippuden. But before I go back to do more Naruto Shippuden stuff, because it's Tuesday. Guess what? Basically, what anime released today? Black Clover. Yep, new episode of Black Clover today. So expect to see review that soon. Okay, but see you next video. Bye.